Welcome to Beacon of Creation, a weekly podcast on game design through the lens of Magic the Gathering. I'm Tim.
I'm Juliet.
We got another of our challenge review episodes. These are fun ones where we get a bunch of cards from all of you. Hey, give us your card. We'll think it through. We'll digest it a little bit. We'll come up with some comparable cards. We'll try to figure out, do the rules work the way that we want them to here? And then at the end, we'll pick a couple of our favorites. But in order to get started, we need our challenge. What was our challenge for this month?
Our challenge for the month of October was Rhoxtober. Design a rhino that would fit in a graveyard set. And then this time we had 3 optional bonus points. Roxanne! You can mention red as a color, but not like the red mana symbol.
Yeah.
Roxas. Roxas. Make the card name an anagram and put in spoiler text what the anagram is. This is a joke on Roxas, the character from Kingdom Hearts, whose name is also an anagram. And then our third bonus point was Rock Candy, inspired by Once Upon a Galaxy's new Candy Lar set. Have your rhino in some way interact with treasure or food.
We got a bunch of different options there, but most of all, we're just looking for like a cool graveyardy card. We've had little Capenna rhinos. We've had maybe some of the rocks from Alara, but maybe we'll see a totally different treatment from all that.
Yeah. Our first submission is from a new submitter.
Wow, new submitter. But they've also been a huge participant in the Discord already.
Yeah. From Miss Lys, we've got Gavito Trifex. For 3 black and a black, it's a rare 3/5 legendary creature Rhino Rogue with Treasure Walk. This creature can't be blocked as long as defending player controls a treasure. And whenever Gavito Trifex deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature card in that player's graveyard. You and that card's owner each create a number of tapped treasure tokens equal to that card's mana value.
Oh.
Flavor text. So many people die with full pockets. It'd be a shame to let all that hard-earned metal go to waste.
Huh. That's certainly like an eye-popping element to the card, creating treasure equal to its mana value. Because you can imagine that being a huge number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has to be in the graveyard of the player being dealt combat damage. So there's almost no way to like maneuver this so that you have, a Gristlebrand or something in your graveyard.
So you would kind of like somehow for the opponent to not spend all their treasure. Because it can't be blocked as long as they control a treasure.
And they do untap with the treasure first before you do, and before you could attack again with Treasure Walk.
What does that do? Because I think the first instinct, if I'm the opponent, is like whether or not I have something to cast, I'll just crack all this treasure. Just so that they don't get Treasure Walk.
But maybe they don't mind being hit again because it will result in more treasure.
This is maybe then like the level 2 is like, this is a commander card. Me and another player who are behind, I say, hey, let me hit you. I'll hit your 6-drop in your graveyard. We'll both get 6 treasure. And then that'll help us catch up with the people who are taking over the game.
Yeah.
At first, when you were reading this, I thought we were going to get a twist on a recent Thunder Junction card, Generous Plunderer, which has been kind of a cube card. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can give yourself and someone else a treasure. And then when it attacks, you hurt them based on the amount of treasure or the amount of artifacts that they have. And this has been like a powerful card that people are playing. I guess getting some treasure yourself, the mixture of that. You don't mind giving it away because you think you're going to use it better. And kind of like this rhino, you're going to punish them for holding on to that treasure, trying to save up that treasure. So there's probably room to do this kind of stuff. Like, hey, we both get treasure. I can use the treasure better than you can, so it's cool. Yeah. I think the Treasure Walk I'm a little skeptical of, but everything else about this card I'm a fan of.
Yeah. Do you want to guess the anagram here? GHAVETOH. and then Trifex.
And then the X may or may not be in the actual name because
Right.
we're operating on Kingdom Hearts rules.
Roxas style. Yeah. Yeah.
Do I have a chance of guessing it, or is this impossible?
I have no idea. I've also
Okay.
not looked at it. So this is first thought, best thought.
No, maybe
V and X's.
TH.
TH. Yeah. I'm also thinking like
Uh,
TH.
the gold. No, the
Vex.
stuff.
Grave. The grave.
Ooh, grave.
The grave gives us FIRXHOT. FIRXHOT.
House. Great.
Okay, let's
I
find out.
might have hit my limit.
Oh, we were really close. We just forgot Magic the Gathering words. The anagram is Rocks Grave Thief.
Oh, we had a
We
chance.
were
Yeah.
really close. Yeah. If I'd written out FIRHOX, I think I maybe could have figured out. Wow.
Rocks grave thief.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool card. I think like feels more in the political zone than in like a one-on-one zone, but maybe it works in both places.
Yeah.
All right, next up we've got another new submitter. New submitter. Blah, 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 blah. Plumtree Chloe sent us Sherry Charge Leader. This is 2 white, black, green, 5 mana for 4/5. Legendary creature, human warrior. Whenever a rhino you control is blocked, each opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life.
Mm.
At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay 1 white, black, green and exile a creature from your graveyard. If you do, create a Siege Rhino token. Okay, yeah. So I pay 5 mana for a 4/5 that doesn't do anything right away by itself, but at the start of next turn, and for each turn after that, if I can keep my graveyard stocked, I can make a Siege Rhino every turn. Siege Rhino is another big creature that ETBs and drains 3 life. And if I can keep those rhinos alive, keep Sherry alive, I get to continue draining. Each of my Siege Rhinos can drain every turn.
Yeah. Okay. So it's blocked. So both when they enter and when they're blocked. So you can really, this does feel like you're in the face of an Abzan siege. And she's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, we could deal with 1 siege rhino. Can you deal with an infinite number of siege rhinos until you give out? Maybe, maybe not. This is a really fun card. I can imagine it, just kind of casually, but also as a commander, this gives you a pretty big, obvious, like,
Oh,
reason
yeah.
to go white, black, green and to like identify with kind of an Abzan like style of approach.
Green and white are probably where most of the existing rhinos are, so you get to scoop those up if you want to play
Mhm.
rocks or something.
You've got black and exiling a creature from your graveyard. So if you've got ways to put things into your graveyard that way.
Yeah, yeah. With Sherry leading the men and Gino leading the rhinos, the Abzan were unstoppable. An Abzan warrior chief rides a rhino into battle, a stampede of other riders follow her. It's not an ETB card, so it's in the Baneslayer Angel zone of like, I'm going to slam down a 5-drop. And if my 5-drop lasts until my next turn, I'm going to start just absolutely ripping it up.
Yeah. Chloe mentions that this is kind of a play like Dees of the Restless, which is the 2 black and a green legend from MH3 that makes a Tarmogoyf token when
Oh, okay, yeah.
your creature is saboteur.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, good place to get some inspiration from. Like, if you're going to have, like, I'm going to create creatures over time, I don't have ETB value, I'm not like a draw engine or something like that, like a lot of commanders are. You can at least create a bunch of really relevant creatures every turn and keep your life total high. These are great blockers. They get your life up. Opponents start to lose life, but you're not creating so much heat so fast that your opponents have to, team up against you. So it's in maybe a good spot, kind of like Disa, where, I have some chance to accrue a little value, advance my game plan, get a couple creatures out, and still make an impact on the game.
Ideally, Sherry here will like help you close out a game because you're draining so much life.
Hmm.
It does make me then briefly think about the like white green and or Abzan like mirror matches of
There you go.
the original Siege Rhinos era, where you
Yeah.
would sometimes have like behemoth sledge sort of like green and white, like boost power toughness, also give lifelink sort of equipment going around and stuff. And you'd have these matchups where like, oh, I have 112 life and 13 creatures out, and you have 130 life and 14 creatures out. And our just like massive toughnesses mean our stuff don't die as we keep trading back and forth. And the kind of magic gets a little silly. It gets a little like, oh, magic wasn't meant to go this direction. And so if I was printing this card, I think this card is very fun. If I was printing it, I would try to make sure, if this was a commander precon, that I put in some cards that can help close the game if suddenly every player is playing Sherry.
Yeah.
And suddenly my rhinos are blocking your rhinos, and like you're draining me and then I'm draining you, and like back and forth sort of things. So I would find some orthogonal way to close out games. That's a very niche thing, but like having seen board states where there's like 4 siege rhinos on both sides,
There you go.
it seems like a little relevant. No.
Yeah. All right, we got some spoiler text on this, so that means that this is an anagram, but there's too many normal words in this. It's hard for me to break up the word charge into like a new a new word.
So the anagram is actually something given to us within the flavor text, which is Sherry and Gino. Sherry being the human riding the rhino, and Gino presumably being the name of the rhino.
Yeah.
Can you guess what Sherry and Gino might be an anagram for?
Sherry and Gino. Siege Rhino.
Siege Rhino. Gino Sherry is an anagram of Siege Rhino.
Okay, so it's not the card name, but the characters. I like this. Yeah, Siege Rhino. Love it.
Our next mission is from VT Basemat. It's Andy, Iris, Tinhorn. 2 green and a blue-black hybrid. So 4 mana. For a 3/3 legendary creature Rhino Rogue at rare. It has Delve, Exploit, and Trample. And when this creature exploits a creature, create a treasure token for each card that left any graveyard this turn. No one knew whether it was friend or foe who first called her Tinhorn. Few dared to say it to her face.
All right, so we got Delve and Exploit on here. So as a refresher, Delve, you can exile cards from your graveyard as you cast it to give it a discount. So this is 4 mana, but you get it down to 2 mana if you exile 2 cards from your graveyard. And then Exploit, as it enters, you can sacrifice, or when you cast it, I don't quite remember what the timing.
Exploit, when it enters, you can sacrifice a creature, which could be this or something else.
And so when this enters, when this creature exploits a creature, so not pretty much just when this enters, you may sack a creature. If you do, create a treasure token for each card that left any graveyard this turn. So the thing you exploit won't be in the graveyard in time to be delved away.
Correct.
So
yeah.
If you're playing this in like standard or something, 2 is going to be the max that you delve. But maybe you delved other spells previously in the turn. You've got some, 8 mana card that you got down to 1 because you exiled a bunch of stuff. You can play this, exploit a creature, and then make like 8 treasure tokens, which would be sick.
Yeah. In non-combo, like if you don't have like a Tormod's Crypt sort of thing set up, just getting 2 token, like 2 treasure off of, you spend blue-green, for instance, and sacrifice this or sacrifice a token you've got to then make 2 treasure and either keep a 3/3 or not, or upgrade your thing to a 3/3. I could see this being kind of a glue of a card. It's not like a full engine, but like it's certainly a way to cast a 5-drop on turn 3.
Yeah. And then if we go to Commander, This is kind of a wild card in Commander because I think you are often sacrificing itself
Mm-hmm.
and then putting it back in the command zone so that you're doing some sort of not quite loopy thing, but some sort of thing where you're sacking this to get a bunch of treasure to do, trigger a bunch of treasure effects or something like that, to then recast it from the command zone for more and delving for more cards to get even more treasure to do more stuff.
And just keep paying the delve cost with the cards in the graveyard.
Yeah.
And then the mana cost with the treasure that you made like the last time.
Yeah. If you have a ton of cards in your graveyard, you might be able to repeatedly cast this character. Because the commander tax is going to go up and up, but you just delve more and more cards away. Yeah, which I think would be like a kind of a crazy thing to do and probably appealing to some players. I guess the other thing is if you just exile target player's graveyard somewhere in the middle of the game, in Bajuka Bog or whatever, you do that, then play this and exploit, and then maybe, you just exile 20 cards from your opponent's graveyard and you make 20 treasure.
That doesn't sound bad. I'm just imagining this as like you sacrifice it itself and then you just cast it again immediately that turn. How many cards have to have left the graveyard for that to be just like a incredibly powerful thing to do?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you have never cast this before.
Mm-hmm.
Your opponent had 20 cards in their graveyard. You Bajuka Bogged. You can afford the 4 mana, so you cast this, exploit itself. I paid 4 mana, but I got 20 treasure. Now I can pay 6 mana and get 20 more treasure. Now I can pay 8 mana and get 20 more treasure. Now I can pay 10 mana. So I can ride that wave for through like 7 commander casts and still be netting mana as I go.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there are many commander games where 16 treasure doesn't mean you've won the game, but
kind of feels like it was.
16 treasure might also win you the game on turn 3 sometimes.
Yeah. I guess so maybe the setup there, if you are trying to get real spiky with this, you need things that mill multiple all players by some amount, and then you're able to use a desert or some other thing that just blows away all graveyards. So I don't even need to get 20 cards in one graveyard, just 20 cards across all graveyards. I get some treasure that lets me play a couple more mill spells. I do that again. So now Andy gives us 40, 50, 60 treasure each time we cast it, which fuels my mill deck even further. Finally, a mill deck in Commander. No, no, there are plenty of mill decks in Commander.
Okay, Tim, can you guess at least one of the words in this anagram?
Well, I'm guessing rhino is one of them.
You're correct.
Okay.
The remaining letters are IDARTSINNI.
It kind of, that was a lot of letters. It kind of looks like Innistrad.
Mm-hmm. This is an anagram for Innistradi Rhino.
Oh, hey. Finally, all those years of obsessing about Innistrad have paid off. That I just see that in a cloud of letters. I can see the word Innistrad.
Innistrad being a graveyard sort of place. Delve, exploit, sure.
Oh, exploit, yep. There's some clues there.
Okay, you ready for this next one?
Ooh, is it my turn? All right, I got the Xena card. Xena has like basically a whole article explaining their card, which we might not be able to get into, but the card name here is Contorted Keratogenous Felon. I'll go with Keratogenous Felon. So Contorted Keratogenous Felon, which is going to be 3 black-green for a 1/1. Exciting. It's an alien rhino rogue. It has Glutton, which is a new mechanic. Glutton 5. I'll do the reminder text now. When this enters and each upkeep, sacrifice up to 5 food permanents. Put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. And then it has the line, tokens are food, just as like a static ability. And then it has Encore 3 black-green. So Encore is the kind of multiplayer mechanic where you can pay 3 black-green, For each opponent, create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn. If able, they gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Sorcery speed.
So keratogenous, of course, meaning like having growths made of keratin.
Hmm.
Keratin is both what our hair is made of and what rhino horns are made of.
Okay.
This makes all tokens food, and then you can sacrifice up to 5 food, both on this entering and kind of each turn, to make it bigger than just a 1/1. I
Yeah.
don't think the encore affects, like, I guess each of the if you have hundreds of tokens, let's say you have 25 tokens, you could
Hmm.
encore make a bunch of these contorted caritaginous felons and then sacrifice to each of those tokens 5 other tokens, which are now food to those like enter triggers.
Hmm.
Or you could, if I have 4 opponents, I could encore a contorted caritaginous felon onto the battlefield, and it, has copies for each opponent, and then I could sacrifice those other copies if I just like I want to encore, but I really want to take out one person instead. So I'm
Hmm.
sacrificing the other copies to just one of these token copies because each of the contorted caritaginous felons are also food. Make a 5/5 or a 6/6 out of this, which is maybe not
Yeah.
overwhelmingly strong on the token side, but it is um interesting. Or if you have just like lots and lots and lots of mana and need the life, you can encore this and then sacrifice all of them to their like food triggers to gain you some life.
Hmm. That's interesting. Yeah. The initial read on this feels like I will not have enough tokens to make this card do much damage. And I like that the Encore trick's kind of fun where I can sort of dynamically size them by having them eat each other. Like I'm
Mhm.
attacking 4 opponents. Oh, 2 of them aren't going to get through or they get blocked. Oh, those ones will get eaten by the other ones. I think that gameplay is kind of novel. But starting as 5 mana, being a 1/1, needing to eat a bunch of permanents, like I could conceivably get a couple food in play, but um yeah.
Hypothetically, if you paired this with, do you know weapons manufacturing?
Oh, okay.
The Edge of Eternity's rare
Hmm.
that just makes lots of colorless tokens, uh, that makes lots of little artifact tokens named munitions
Yeah.
that have, when this token leaves the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's like it's kind of I have kind of split feedback on this. One, the technology I'm a fan of, but two, the numbers are like really far from being appealing.
Yeah, even if you have tokens you wanna get rid of, I think the numbers are still just not there, unfortunately.
Yeah, if this were like 2 mana, now I feel like I can get paid off because like I only need to eat 1 or 2 food to get back up to a regular sized creature, and now like if I want to go nuts, I want to eat like a creature token, 2 foods, and a treasure. I sacrificed 4 permanents to get like a 5/5 for 2. I worked hard. I got something kind of good.
Mhm. If this had, like, either double strike or some
Yeah.
other, like,
Lifelink.
creature keywords, yeah, oh, lifelink? Yeah, definitely. Especially if you're, like, eating the food and this thing can gain you the life that you would've
Hmm.
with the
Hmm.
food. I can see
Yeah.
some things like that.
I think Devour was kind of not like typically like a really hard mechanic to make work. Had
Mhm,
to have enough stuff worth eating and stuff like that. And Glutton seems about the same difficulty level to make work.
mhm.
I really have to dedicate a deck that's like churning out chaff to eat, churning out food or other tokens. And I want to be paid off.
So, I think there's a kind of obvious joke to this card,
Okay.
and I wanna ask whether you get it before saying what it is.
Uh Alien Rhino Rogue. No, I guess I don't know.
I haven't clicked the spoiler text, but I feel with a significant amount of confidence that the card's card name and rules text are anagrams of one another.
Oh, okay.
That contorted cartilaginous felon and glutton tokens our food encore.
It's like 3 T's in there. Hmm. All right. I like that. Let's click.
Yep. Uh, the name is the entire rules text anagrammed, reminder text notwithstanding. That's the reason why we have the render with a reminder text and without. It's a 3-line card. It's very fun.
Good job, Xena.
Our next submission is from Cord, who has like a cool new font. Is this
Whoa.
this seems new, right?
Hmm.
I think
Wow.
this might be one of the magic fonts.
So is this like a Discord thing?
Yeah, I don't know. The submission is Blurred Divine. It's 4 green and a blue for a 6/6 enchantment creature, Rhino Insect at
Hmm.
rare. It has red creatures you control have trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And for 2, a blue, and exiling this card, Blurred Divine, from your graveyard, you can return all non-food artifacts to their owner's hands.
Non-food artifacts makes me wonder if we're going to get another the rules text matters to the puzzle.
Why is this an enchantment? And
Yeah.
why does it specify non-food? I get the red because we've got the Roxanne bonus point where you can talk about red.
Yeah. Red creatures
Mm,
you control have trample, and when this creature deals combat, oh yeah, all your red guys when they hit, they draw a card. That is good. It's a 6-mana 6/6, so I have time to set up a couple red creatures and then slam this big boy down, draw a couple cards because of it. Not worry about attacking because I got a big blocker that I just slammed down, green style. And then after it's dead, I have this ability to bounce artifacts. Yeah, the two halves don't totally relate to each other.
and it's funny because it feels like they would be played in entirely different circumstances. That
Hmm.
this might be like a fairy macabre sort of thing where against particular, artifact lock decks or whatever,
Hmm.
against lantern control. Oh, just play like 2 Blurred Divine, and at one point in time they'll mill one, and you can just go, okay, 2 and a blue, bounce your ensnaring bridges and all of
Yeah,
your stuff. You
return
play
non-food
it
art.
only for the graveyard cast ability, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. Okay. Oh, I clicked on the
Or give me a hint.
great, fantastic, extremely silly. This card
Mhm.
name is an anagram of 2 different magic cards
Oh,
that are the effects of this card to an extent.
huh. It's a double anagram, you're saying?
It's a double anagram.
Oh my
Blurred
god.
Divine, you can go ahead and click on it, is an anagram for driven / rebuild. And I was like, is driven to rebuild one of the Hour of Devastation Aftermath cards? That seems like a stretch. It isn't. It's driven to despair. Driven being the 1 and a green until end of turn, creatures you control gain trample, and when this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And rebuild, which is 2 and a blue for an instant, return all
Oh,
artifacts
rebelled,
to their
yeah.
owner's hands. Just,
I recognize rebuild. I don't know that I even knew that driven to despair existed.
right? A classic, 2 different blasts from 2 different pasts that
Yeah.
I I see
An
the
advanced
anagram.
card.
I don't know what inspired the anagram. There's something very funny, like a missing step in this whole process.
Maybe the non-food part on the second half is because the first half slightly changes driven to include red. So the rebuild side has to say something slightly different from what rebuild does.
Okay, if we take the word red
Okay.
and non-food, is red non-food an anagram for anything? Uh, no. The closest thing it's an anagram for would be fodder noon, which I guess is what you call lunch.
Lunch if you're in the trenches.
Yeah. This is a mystery. It's an interesting card that just feels so weird.
There's an answer to the puzzle, but it just is like, but how did they make this puzzle?
Mhm.
Cord decided to have us read this card.
Absolutely. Thank you for submitting it. And I would play this.
Yeah. All right, this next one from Red Bay has a bunch of emojis to it, so I'm kind of curious what's going on. It's called Querion Gravetender. Querion being the old Dominaria faction forest, something. 3 and a green for a 4/4, creature Rhino Druid at rare. Whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, create a treasure token. Threshold, if you would create a treasure token, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, create a Black Lotus token instead. Hey, that's fun. Alrighty, so there's like Quirion Druid and there's some other ones, Questing Druid, that are like green cards that reward you for casting anything besides green spells. And here you get kind of an engine-y thing. I'm going to get a treasure back for each spell that I cast, which is a really appealing thing to do.
Korean Dryad is like, I don't know. I think of it as a very beloved card.
Yeah.
We eventually saw something maybe slightly stronger in Questing Druid, which has kind of been the Quirion Dryad of the modern era. Even without the Black Lotus, I can see people enjoying playing this card.
Absolutely.
With the Black Lotus upgrade, it really is we're in threshold territory, we're in the end game sort of space.
Yeah. This is definitely like a card that lands in Commander and everyone else looks around like, do you guys have removal? Do you have removal? Because this is about to go huge. You know, it's the same reason that Quirion Druid and Questing Druid are fun. Is like, oh, I got to build my deck a little bit different. Like, I'm not the mono green deck making a million mana. I have to incorporate some other color in there. But I could play a lot of blue cantrips off of Black Lotus. So stock up, get a Black Lotus, cast another stock up, get another Black Lotus.
Yeah. I think this to me is what green should be in many ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a 4-mana creature that goes wild if you have a bunch of stock ups.
Yeah.
So play this like 4-mana 4/4 that doesn't technically like do anything on its own at least. I think is really compelling, and like, yeah, we should be doing this. Obviously there's like Pi and how it relates to effects in particular, but Pi as it relates to kind of deck building in a way.
Yeah.
I think this is a really appealing thing for green to be doing.
All right, we got the H check in the name. It fails, so there's no rhino in the anagram.
But a lot of R's, I's, N's, and O's. We've got 3 R's, 2 I's, a couple of N's.
This is such a plausible name for this card that it's extra hard to to reformulate it.
Yeah.
Quiver.
Nitrogen. Let's find out.
Oh. Now I know what emojis are on there.
Red base spoiler text reveals there is no anagram. Really got us good because it does seem like such an obvious fit of a card name for a card effect. Wow.
Annihilated. Destroyed.
Wowie zowie. And graveyard set, the threshold part.
Cares about treasure.
The Roxanne, we've got the red mentioned in that way.
Yeah.
Our next submission is from Juliet. It's Ahab Horns Rehired. It's 1 black red hybrid, so 3 total mana, for a 2/2 legendary creature Rhino Citizen at uncommon. Ahab has double strike during your turn, and whenever a creature leaves the battlefield, you lose 2 life, mill 2 cards, and create a treasure token. And then it has dash 2 black, 2 red.
Oh. All right, so 3 mana, 2/2, double strike during your turn. That feels like I'm already at a good base. I can dash it, which is pretty appealing because then I get a hasty 2/2 double striker. So I want to do that. And then the main ability here, the new ability here, whenever a creature leaves the battlefield, you lose 2 life, mill 2 cards, and create a treasure token. So this is right on the balancing point of upside or downside, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
3 creatures die, you're in a lot of trouble. 10 creatures die, you're dead. But you get some milling, which you might want, and then you get treasure, which you definitely want. So the dash ability is something you'd kind of like to do because you don't want this to be a lot on the battlefield all the time. Whenever a creature leaves the battlefield, so that would count itself.
Mm-hmm.
So at the very least, you're going to be hurting yourself every time you dash this.
The rate is kind of wild here for double strike and double strike hastiness in like black, red, or black, red.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, the opposite side of it is, yes, this is pretty good at killing opposing creatures in combat if they block. And your opponent can say, like, great, you're attacking. Here, I'm going to put 3 blockers in front of you. And like, you're gonna kill them and you're gonna lose life for each one of those. And similarly, like, oh, dash is great and the dash is cheap, you could just keep redoing it. But maybe you want like a double striking attacker and you don't actually want the lose 2 life, mill 2 cards every single turn as part of the cost.
Yeah, this game is going to be quick one way or the other. I think maybe the coolest part or the hidden cool part is that this adds a bunch of random mill. So now I have a bunch of other deck building hooks. I'm likely to get a fairly large amount of mill in a really short time, which is a difficult thing for like an aggressive Rakdos deck to normally get to play with. Normally I'm thinking if I'm getting incidental mill, it's because I'm taking my time with a Golgari deck or something.
And even if I'm playing Ahab Horns and I have like a bunch of lifelink in my deck or like other like life gain sort of stuff, eventually that mill might might add up if my opponent has a creature deck and they can't seem to get through. Okay, well, I've been milled for 20. Can I win this game in time before being milled for 20 matters one way or another? And sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer to that is no.
Yeah, cool card. Very different. I haven't seen a card with quite the same set of hooks, so same set of horns.
I've been playing with Dash as a mechanic for my Starcrossed Lovers of New Capenna set.
Oh, okay.
With Dash is my pitch for the like blue, black, red Maestros mechanic, with the idea of playing kind of in a Dorian Gray space almost of like, here's this upper class person who has so much like fashion and wealth. They're very dashing, but they just kind of like enter your life and then leave it without caring about you. Like common people sort of thing.
Dine and dash, yeah.
And then being able to play on like different types of dashing. Alongside the black, red, green mechanic, Waltz, which is my weird little flashback dredge sort of thing that could certainly use the mill.
I feel like Dash is in the zeitgeist right now because Power Cube is up on Arena, and the data has started to come in. And the number 2 card currently, game in hand win rate, is a Dash card. So people are rediscovering the power level of Death Greeter's Champion.
Oh yeah,
the Dash card that gives double strike and it has backup.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So I designed this card.
Yeah.
And it is an anagram.
Oh my god.
And I'm sure that it has Rhino in it because we have all of the R.
Yeah, I did the ace check. Yeah.
H-I-N-O. Tim, do you have a guess? This is going to be Rhino and then an occupation.
There's a bunch of extra H's in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is an occupation.
Yes. This is an anagram for, you can click through, Rhino.
Haberdasher.
Haberdasher.
Does he have a hat or no, he just makes hats for us?
So millinery is hat making. Haberdashery is pocket squares and bow
Oh.
ties and cufflinks and in general like tailoring for men's suits and a lot of the like getting a monogram on your lapel, that's part of like
Oh. Well, I think
haberdashery.
is that just like a common misconception that haberdashers are maybe
I'm sure
hats are
they
like a thing you buy there or something?
yeah, I'm sure there's some overlap there, and because the word haberdasher sounds like a word for, like, a fancy old word for hat
Hat
maker.
Haberdasher, yeah. There's a haberdasher here in Portland, maybe I should go sometime.
Yeah.
They got a hat in their logo. Maybe this is
Mhm.
why, because I walked by this thing in downtown Portland, and they have a hat in their logo. Alright, I was misled by marketing once again.
The only time this has ever happened.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alright, haberdasher.
but this is my idea for a, hybrid uncommon, legend for
Hey,
that weird New Capenna limited.
very interesting card. Maybe scary as a uncommon, like, are people are people not wanna pick this because they don't wanna die? This is one for
Could
the
be.
true, aficionados, I guess. Alrighty, next up from Auxiliary Otter, we've got Stampede Herald. This is 4 green green for a 5/5. Creature Rhino Scout at uncommon. So 6 mana 5/5. You may have this creature assign as combat damage as though it weren't blocked. Classic Rocks text. 2 green green. Exile this card from your graveyard. You may have creatures you control assign their combat damage as though they weren't blocked. Activate only as a sorcery. Probably until end of turn.
This is a classic rocks ability, right? The card rocks
Yeah.
is
Yep.
this as a is that a 3 green green for 4/4? I think something like that for original rocks.
Original Rocks is the same stats and cost and the same first ability, but it regenerates instead of having the Graveyard Exile ability.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So Original
So,
Rocks actually stands up okay to this guy.
yeah. Maybe you want this to die so that you can use its thing instead of
Yeah, you mill this, I cast mulch or whatever. I dump this in my graveyard, and now I have the ability to just like convert all my creatures into face damage.
and it is interesting that it's easier to get this card in your graveyard because your opponent can block it with creatures without worrying about those creatures dying.
That's true. Yeah.
Assuming you do choose the Yume.
Yeah. If you decide to take the face damage, then anything that blocks this doesn't die.
If you have activated the graveyard part of the ability, if I'm attacking it, if I've done that and I'm attacking it with 4 creatures, can I have 3 of them deal their damage as though they weren't blocked, and one of them does deal their damage to the blocker? Is it a like per creature, or is it just you may? You can figure out after blockers, but you have to make one decision either way
Hmm.
for all of your creatures.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. At least strategy wise, if I'm playing this card, I'm expecting to just have them all overrun. Like I'm playing Gruul or whatever. I get 8 damage in early in the game. I get this in my graveyard somehow. I loot it away with a Faithless Looting. And then I know I can just turn my 12 power worth of creatures into face damage. That's the way I want to use this card.
So I think this anagram has the word trample in it,
Oh,
or maybe tramples.
okay.
Stampede Herald gets us all of the letters you need for trample.
All right. Give us the calculation on our remaining letters.
It would be something like SDDEEHA. Probably not in that order.
Couple E's, N H, S H,
Yeah.
She, head.
Oh, so you could think about had seed trample, if that helps.
Dead trample.
Ooh, dead trample. Oh, he tramples dead. Maybe? Let's
Okay.
find out.
Oh no.
Oh.
we got red bait again.
God is good. No, honestly though, he tramples dead is, I think, a really good anagram for what
Yeah.
this card Does.
Premium. Yeah.
From the graveyard,
Okay.
he dead tramples. Wow.
Alrighty.
Wild.
All right. As much as we're reeling, we have to move on here. And our next one is
Yes.
we just have to center ourselves and just be ready to look at another card, which is going to be from Inti, who's got Rovi, Anger's Heir, 1 red, red, red. So 4 mana for a 6/1 creature, Incarnate Rhino Legend at Mythic. It has haste, so 4 mana, 6/1 haste. As long as Rovi is in your graveyard and you control a mountain, whenever a red creature you control attacks, return Rovi to the battlefield tapped and attacking. At end of turn, sacrifice Rovi. Wow, that card was a roller coaster. So it's got a little bit of the Anger text. Anger is that card that if it's in your graveyard, you control a mountain, your creatures have haste. This is if it's in your graveyard and you control a mountain. Whenever a red creature you control attacks, you get to bring Rovi back tapped and attacking.
The first multiple times I read this card, because it's like done in an old frame, my brain
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's a 0/1. And I'm like, what an interesting combo card where you can just like keep bringing back this
Oh.
this 0/1 that like attacks just in case you need like extra creature, like number of attacking creatures triggers or whatever. And then my brain finally saw that these zeros, in fact, this is a 6/1. This makes me think of Demigod of Revenge
Oh, okay.
in a big way.
That like comes back. What is Demigod?
Yeah, Demigod of Revenge is when you cast a spell, return all cards named Demigod of Revenge from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a 5 mana flying haste sort of guy that you would frequently find ways to kill a bunch of your extras so you can just like bring them back and attack in with haste again.
Yeah, you kind of only need to do it once to be done with the game with Demigod. The most straightforward comp that I have for this is Mobilize from Dragonstorm. So
Sure.
Mobilize, when this creature attacks, you bring along 1 or more 1/1s that are tapped and attacking. Here, because Rovi dies end of turn, so it's always going to be dead.
Mhm.
And when you go to attack, it's always going to be there. This is like Mobilize, but you get a 6/1. And it gives all your other guys Mobilize to get a 6/1.
I wonder if you have like multiple of these, do you want one of your other red creatures to have like when a creature dies or whatever? So you bring back 4 Rovi Anger's Heir, sacrifice 3 of them, ping your opponent for each one of those, and then also attack in for 6/1.
Like a Warstorm Surge or whatever. Whenever a creature enters, it deals damage equal to its power to blah, blah, blah.
Or maybe this is going to be heading up the red ball lightning mirror gallery deck.
There you go.
Where you can have all of your legends come in.
My 2 passions are skeletons and ball lightning. Couldn't fit a way to find a rhino skeleton, so you get ball lightning instead. Alrighty.
Yeah. Incarnate Rhino Legend. This does feel like a Rhino incarnate in that sort of like downhill charge sort of way.
I believe it.
If you have enough attacking in your heart, if you are red in color identity enough and you attack, they say that the heir of anger, Rovi, will be attacking alongside you. The H check certainly says this looks rhino-ish as far as the anagram goes.
Over?
Let's see.
Oh no.
How many
we
are
need
left
those
after?
Rage?
ALVEERRG, and I think an S outside of Rhino. Outside of Rhino. Rhino.
Grave?
Grave.
What do we have left?
GRAVELE. So we'd have LER left.
I don't think there's an L in this card.
Is there not? There isn't. Why do I think there's an L in this card? The I. I've typed it out in all capitals, and that's why.
Fair enough. So we have ire. Is that left?
Ooh, okay. Grave Rhino's ire.
Okay.
Let's see. Grave Rise Rhino.
Grave Rise Rhino.
Hey.
Oh, we had ire versus Rise. We did okay there.
Yeah. I
All
honestly, I
right.
think grave rhino's ire like works as a possessive. Yeah.
We plussed it up. You can thank us, Indy. No.
Listener, let us know how fun us figuring out anagrams is. This is really tickling my brain in a fun way, but
Yeah. We haven't had quite as many Juliet moments in terms of like teaching it. Well, no, I guess we did have haberdashing. We have to have our Juliet content quotient for every design challenge, and I feel like we're capturing it here.
anagrams ask the question of what if words were numbers?
Hmm.
Like it just like letters rearranged as though they were each puzzle pieces.
All right, what letters are 51 and dividing 17? Like, what letters are those?
I think that's where we start getting into like do you know the ash or like the
Oh,
ampersand or like any digraphs and any
okay.
of the letters that are like it's two letters stuck together
Oh,
like an AE together or something like that. And yeah, an ampersand is the letters E and T put together to mean
okay.
et,
Fair enough.
which is Latin for
Hmm.
and.
All righty. I'm looking at this E and T combined. This is intense. I don't know who. All right, fair enough.
Yeah. Our next submission is from James Dalton Bell. It's Rox Chaplain for 2 green and a white. It's an uncommon creature, Rhino
Hmm.
Cleric. It's a 4/4 for 4. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control.
Hmm. Tried to come up with a flavor text along the lines of elephants never forget, but rhino dot dot dot. I could find a way to make it not awkward. So just no flavor text. But we should carry that flavor into this card. Rhinos remember. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. This is just a naturally useful ability. If it put the counters on itself, it's already a 4-mana 4/4. I don't know that I needed it to be bigger, but having some battlefield superiority, some flexibility, definitely makes this a useful card.
This feels like a uncommon green white rocks card. Like this
Yeah.
feels like, hey, we went back to Alara and here's a Bant uncommon. It's gonna be a fine enough rate. And like if this is kind of part of the top end of your curve and your opponent can kill some of your smaller creatures, well, you're either making the rocks itself bigger or some of your smaller stuff big enough to survive the next flame swiper or whatever. I like how straightforward and kind of open-ended it is because,
Yeah.
well, you can pay for the 4/4, you can get the +1/+1s, and it all works out.
Yeah. Just a super solid card, naturally playable. We kind of want excuses to get our build arounds up into the 4, 5, 6 mana level if we can. And this does so by just giving you a 4/4. Like you just have a solid creature that you can use to deflect attacks, keep your opponent away from you while you set up your game plan, while you attack in with little guys and build up a big boy. I can't think of a card that works quite this way, where you get to pick where the counter goes. That we've had a bunch of the cards that like when creatures die, I get bigger, but not where we have quite this much flexibility. So it's a new niche.
Do you know what this card is a anagram for?
uh, no.
So you have to imagine you're on Bant, everything's very, like, orderly and in formation, and
Okay.
so behind this, like, rhino
Okay.
who's got a big book that they're, like, speaking to, like, a congregation, it's a funeral, they got a chaplain, whatever.
Okay.
They have all of the singers there behind them, and they're all, like, lined up. Maybe they're, like, military, they're sigils and stuff. And in formation, you have a choir phalanx.
Oh, wait, did you just make that up or?
I mean, I used a little anagram thing
Oh, okay.
to
Because James didn't provide an anagram. Choir phalanx. That sounds like
yeah,
Warhammer 40K.
mhm.
Choir phalanx. All right. Cool card. Super playable. Appealing. Gives you some hooks to build around. Love it. Next from Grand Nagus, we've got Rispo's Cherex Pops. Something. We're getting set up for something. It's a 3 and a black for a 3/4. Artifact creature, Rhino Food Treasure at rare. So this is a creature, Rispo's Charax pops. It's a cereal box here to kill you. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. When Rispo's Charax pops dies, you may pay X to return a food card of mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And then as 2, sack it, you gain 3 life. 2 scoops of Rhino in every box.
So you want to be playing this alongside red mana sources so that I can like tap all of my blood crypts and everything on one turn, and then the next turn be able to spend. Okay, but it's got to be another food card. So maybe this is in like a cycle with an even bigger food thing that I could be like spending 2 mana to sacrifice this, and then having enough mana left over to spend to reanimate another food. I suppose if I just have 2 Rispo's Charax pops, I could just keep like sacrificing one to bring the other back to get like 3 life.
Gravedigger Lupin.
I don't know that 6 mana for 3 life is a huge, but like, hey, doing it every turn if you're on a board stall, I suppose is something. Huh. This definitely feels like it has a anagram driving it in some way.
This like not losing unspent mana is a fun thing, like we just had in the Spider-Man set or the Omen Path set. Like a card that you could, keep building up red mana, and then when the creature dies, you can pay X to deal X damage. I think here, even if this were like you could return a creature, the size of that dream is not that big. Like, oh, I built up 7 red mana. Oh, now when this dies, I'm going to get back blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like I just got back to Gravedigger. I didn't hit something quite dreamy.
Yeah.
I do like messing around with this clause, though. You don't lose unspent. And I think I like you don't lose unspent red mana. Like, I think like a little qualifier is really fun there.
I definitely agree with that. I'm going to pull the trigger on not the anagram I expected. Tim, this is a popular children's game that you might still play as an adult.
A popular children's game. Checkers? I guess I wouldn't play that as an adult.
If you do the rhino check, you might notice something missing, which will be your first clue.
Oh, there's no N. There's no N. So no rhino. But we probably have rocks then, because we've seen rocks in a bunch of these. Can I guess what the other bunch of R's and P's? Pepper. I don't know. Give it to me.
This is an anagram for rocks, paper, scissor.
All right. That is funny.
Rispo's Charax pops.
Yep. I kind of wish we were set up to guess that a little bit more what happens on this card, but yeah, that is a funny name, rocks, paper, scissors.
It is interesting to have a dice trigger on like a 3/4 because hypothetically you want this to die at a time, like it'd be great if this could die on your opponent's turn and then you could have all of your mana untapped and spend the full X cost, because if you do need to kill it using the food clause, you have 2 less mana to spend on the X cost to return like a big enough food. If you want to hear more about cards with the food subtype and not just tokens, you can check out the favorite flavor food episode we did earlier this year with Aaron Lim. It's a great episode.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that card. What's next?
Our next submission is from Karen. It's / Corpse Recycler. It's 2 and a black for a 3/2 legendary creature, Rhino Sorcerer at uncommon. That's a 3/2 for 3. When this creature enters, exile target creature card from a graveyard. If that card was red, create a treasure token. If that card was green, create a food token. If it was red and green, do both.
Oh, okay. That's fun. Feels very Alara or three color set-y.
I want to say this feels kind of new Capennan-y.
Yeah, I guess corpse
like a
recycler.
corpse
Yeah,
recycler,
yeah,
and creating the treasure and food being
hmm,
a Roxy sort of thing.
yeah,
I guess that's the difference between New Capenna and Alara as like ally color shard
yeah.
planes is in one rhinos are very much blue, white, green, and the other one they're very much
Hmm.
red, green, black.
I guess the red making treasure is Capenna E, and then green
Mhm.
making food is a little more Jundi because they eating
Sure.
bodies and stuff. Yeah, when it enters, exile a card, and then maybe get something. I would say power wise, this feels like a common, like a fillery common in draft. I think we're probably uncommon because we're trying to make an anagram. If I had to guess.
And that lets us do like a legendary sort of name.
Yeah, yeah, like a cool legendary name.
I think if this was like 1 mana cheaper, we could see it played as a I'm thinking like, "Oh, commander," and then I'm thinking about, like, Seasons of War, like a
Yeah.
commander limited where you don't have color identity to worry about, and so you'd be like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I have my mono black commander, but I'm playing a Jund sort of
Hmm.
deck."
Hmm.
Mostly thinking about how powerful 2 mana commanders that can do mana acceleration are.
Hmm.
3 mana getting a treasure, it's like, yeah, we do get that at
Yeah.
common even in sets that have the treasure synergies.
Yeah. It's hard to get the treasure when the ramp matters most because you need creature cards and graveyards to get the treasure token, and you need it to be a red creature. Um, so it's a little middle game, and then by middle game, a 3 mana 3/2, or even two mana 3/2 isn't totally what you want. But yeah, this is a cool card. I think we're set up for a cool anagram.
I don't know what the anagram will be. We don't have the I or the N
Oh, okay, so
for a
Rhino.
rhino, and we don't have the ox for a rocks. Slash corpse recycler. Let's find out. It is an anagram for sorcerer splash cycle. To go in a
Oh,
cycle of monocolored sorcerer cards that can reward and or enable you to splash into a third color.
hmm,
So I might play this in my red black deck and say, sure, I'll put a green, or I'll be more likely to include like a green hybrid sort of
hmm.
thing if I'm weighing different inclusions.
Hey, why not?
Or if I'm playing a green black deck, this I feel like this would definitely incentivize me to include some red creatures in
Yeah,
maybe some early red or red green drops.
it's like a little tricky because I need to have enough red that I can play my red cards if I don't draw this guy.
Mhm.
Like it's the splash problem of like tap for mana of colors that you already have. Well, how much do I need that?
Maybe you just have some like
Hybrid.
mountain cyclers. You
Oh,
just play like a bunch of those and say,
sure.
"Hey, I'll mountain cycle for a mountain, and then I'll exile this from the graveyard to create a treasure." And that way I can cast them that way.
Hmm.
It does seem like there's a delta between creating a treasure and creating a food.
Yeah, and like even the treasure is not like I'm setting something up and then getting refunded more than rewarded, I would say.
Sure. Mhm.
This is mostly, hey, I might exile a thing from a graveyard just because it's relevant, and then if I happen to get a treasure, I happen to get a food. That's just emergent gameplay. It's not something I can count on. It's not something I'm building towards, or at least to me. In Final Fantasy, what was it? There was like a zombie black creature who was, I think, a better card than this. Cut Rub Ferrer, whatever a cut rub is. It's a 3 mana 3/2. When it enters, destroy a creature that was dealt damage or exile 2 cards from a graveyard. Like destroying a damaged creature is like a higher upside than anything Slash can do here. And this was like a bottom quartile sort of black common. Like it wasn't something people played. Either up the bonus, get 2 treasure tokens, get 2 foods or whatever, or find some other way
Mm, mhm.
to tweak this up. Maybe I'm getting too fine grained with the balance feedback, but um,
Yeah. Or like an additional sacrifice a treasure, destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn, or like give something death touch or whatever. And then it's like, yeah, I kind of want to spend the treasure, but then I can also spend the food on,
yeah,
something that's
yeah,
going to impact that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool card though. This feels like it very economically hits the bonus points. We've
Yeah,
got a plausible sort of
definitely.
name. We've got the red here. We hit both treasure and food.
Yeah, I should be giving it more credit because of that. Like, it hits the challenge really well. I think I just had some knee-jerk reaction to it. I don't know why. All right, second to last one from MDub. We've got Mausoleum Breaker, 3 black green for a creature skeleton rhino. It's a 3/4, 5 mana 3/4 at uncommon. It has a ability word or some italic word here, ransack. When this creature enters, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. If you controlled that permanent, return up to 1 target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, battlefield. All right, that took a turn.
Okay, so Mausoleum Breaker, you can destroy an artifact or enchantment, and if it's yours, this is just a reanimate tied to a 3/4 body, which is
Good.
that's pretty great on the curve of 3 black green, I would say, all things considered.
Yeah, limited wise, definitely thumbs up for me.
Maybe living the full dream is like you cast hatching plans.
Oh, something that wants to die?
you,
Yeah.
you put like a Archon of
Mm,
Cruelty, or you. Okay, here's the dream. You cast hatching plans, and then you also put a Gristlebrand in your graveyard.
hmm,
Then you cast Mausoleum Breaker, sacrificing your hatching plans to draw 3 cards and
hmm.
reanimate your Grizzlebrand to draw 7 or 14 or 21 cards, which really makes your hatching plans not matter very much. Honestly, though, Ransack as a cleanup artifact tokens sort of thing,
Sure, yeah.
and maybe clean up messy enchantments. I can imagine this alongside roll tokens as like
Yeah.
kind of a mechanic in place of bargain to let
Mm.
you use roll tokens, but also to take off harmful roll tokens or like stop your opponent's ones and different things like that.
Yeah, yeah. If there are little enchantments such that I'm probably going to see an enchantment on the battlefield that I want to destroy, this feels like a perfect fit. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think maybe the setup for the dream that you have, I think a card that we want to consider is Bitter Reunion, which has
Sure.
kind of become a commandery card. 1 and a red for an enchantment. When it enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards, and then it has a sack ability. But I want to use this to discard your Gristlebrand or whatever, and also be an enchantment that can then be targeted by Mausoleum Breaker, so that I have just like a 2-stop shop for a huge payoff.
Yeah,
What was that cycle from Theros Beyond Death? There was like uh, the enchantments that entered and did something, and then you sack them to, I don't know, scry or whatever.
sure,
Like that
sure.
kind of stuff feels like the perfect for this Mausoleum Breaker.
Do you think ransack is always
Yeah.
when this creature enters, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment if you control that permanent? Or do you think it's when
Mhm.
this creature enters, you may something a target, maybe it's even destroy a target blank.
Hmm.
If you controlled that blank uh, bonus effect.
I don't
Like,
know.
would we have ransack that would target creatures or lands or
Yeah.
non-creature permanents?
Yeah. It would be difficult to have even like 8 cards that were when this enters, you may destroy target artifact enchantments, or even 5 cards all in the same set. So there probably needs to be a variable in there. I think maybe, yeah, when this creature enters, you may destroy blah. And that's all we're doing with Ransack. I don't know. I don't know what the vision for Ransack is. It's a good question.
When I played with a similar ability back in my Dragon's Maze Jumpstart remix, there was the gruel mechanic that I believe was something to the effect of destroy target artifact, or maybe target player sacrifices an artifact. Then, if they've sacrificed an artifact this turn, bonus effect, so that you could work around people just sacrificing treasure in
Hmm.
response by saying, okay, I'm going to target you. You can sacrifice your treasure, or you can sacrifice your treasure for mana. Either way,
Hmm.
this writer is going to go through. But that was also an environment where I knew there were 0 enchantments. Anything enchantment y was going to be either a sorcery or an artifact, so that it was easy to have artifacts around to be able to target. And then if you had them, then it's like great. I could control this to get this extra bonus in that way. I don't. This seems very promising to me. It's
Yeah.
true that you couldn't make that many, but I do think you can make a limited environment where there are enough of these that you could have 6 ransack cards that target artifact or enchantment. Maybe not. I think you're right that like 8 is pushing it too far.
Yeah. Super playable card, purple.
See, I was trying to see if the word red was hidden somewhere in this text. Again, not that red is necessary to mention. Savoy's red, Mausoleum Breaker. Does that feel like? Let's see if there's any good ones.
When someone doesn't submit an anagram, you take it upon yourself to carry the burden of
Uh,
of
I,
creating one.
the anagram generator has a really great first result for the best anagram for Mausoleum Breaker
Okay.
is Breaker Mausoleum.
Oh, well.
Technically. Okay.
That's so silly.
Our last submission is from Pat. It's Rade Hex Stamped. It's a 1 and a black for a 4/1 legendary creature Rhino Warlock. This creature enters with an aggressive hex token attached to it. It's a red aura with enchanted creature attacks each turn if able. And then it has 1 and a blue, exile this card from your graveyard, create an aggressive hex token attached to target creature.
Oh, 1 and a blue. Funny. So it's a 4/1 for 2 that has to attack each turn if able. And then after it dies, I get to inflict that on one of my opponent's creatures, probably. Seems like a solid package, kind of on its own.
A 4/1 that attacks each turn is somewhat likely to die and be put in the graveyard too, which is neat. And the bonus of putting the hex like could combo with things where you want to enchant your creatures or your opponent's creatures or that sort of thing. And it can get them to get off of a board stall and like attack in so you can take advantage. But also it's not so strong that it's like the rebuild thing we had earlier where you're playing this card just to have in your graveyard as a castable sort of instant.
We were just talking about rolls and stuff, and hexes as like a whole new set of rolls. Seems like you could do that and have a good time.
As much as I like forced attacking being in the purview of red better than in the purview of blue, this is a neat way to make a card that seems very plausible that sure, aggressive tokens are usually red. This mono black card uses it and then uses blue to inflict it.
Yeah. Our set has like 4 or 5 cards with aggressive hexes in them that are red. And then we're like, let's try to get at least 1 or 2 that aren't red. Yeah, that's a great point.
Okay, Raud the Hex Stamped. No rocks and no rhino, but we could get close. We've stamped like Trampede. We do have the R. Trample. Yes, we could. This could have trample. So, trample. Let's find out. Oh.
Oh, whoa. That's meta.
This is an anagram of Stampede Herald with an added X.
Prayer emojis for including the added X. I was requesting that.
That is genius.
Full Roxas style.
Coming off of Stampede Herald, where we came up with an anagram and it didn't have one.
Yeah.
Now the Stampede Herald before is a part of the whole thing. Wow. Ring composition.
We did it. Good job, Pat. What a closer. You didn't even know we were going to be talking about stuff.
Thank you everyone for your submissions. This was this was a treat of a little extra silliness.
Yeah. All right, what are a couple favorites here?
I think Quirion Gravetender is pretty high up there. Yes, the Black Lotus mode is almost certainly broken for, any sort of like storm purposes or anything. Sure. But I want this card to exist so that this can be in like a power cube sort of thing. So there can be more people going, yeah, if I get this 4-mana 4/4 out onto the battlefield and it survives, then I'll have a really strong storm turn.
Yeah, yeah.
I really think that's a fun treat, and baiting us with a plausible name and then kind of
Rug
falling through
pull,
that. There's just something exciting about the card. I'm sure
All right.
one day when we have seen our, like, 24th card that creates Black Lotus tokens, like, one day that won't be as, like, exciting, but I do think that that remains exciting.
Let's see. One of the early ones that I really liked, I might pick two, but was
Yeah.
from Plum Tree Chloe, the like Siege Rhino making commander.
Mhm.
There's a funny anagram. I think it's just a super appealing card that people will want to play. It gets into the commander space, but without just being like a super efficient engine. It's more of just like, here's some big boys and I'm going to stay alive, which I like in kind of a commandery card.
Absolutely. Yeah. I really think the idea of, "Hey, did you like the Abzan back in original Khans of Tarkir? Here's a Abzan card that is about the parts that you really remember well,
Yeah.
rather than about, like, some other thing." You can also include some spirit tokens or +1/+1 counters, but
Mhm.
if what you really wanna be doing is showing up with a bunch of siege rhinos,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
lets you really do that.
I'm not sure they would make this the like commander of the precon or whatever, but as like a modern Horizon Z card like Disa, this seems like a great fit with a lot of appeal. I think my
Absolutely.
other pick has to be Raldi, the last one we reviewed, because I asked for a thing on the as a bonus point, and that bonus point was delivered to me by exactly one card on a card that was just a great card overall. So I think Pat's Raldi is my other pick.
Great. The end of one design challenge means the beginning of another. And we've got the November Design Challenge, which
Mm.
is November Mage, design a red mana dork.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Mana
Is this
dorks,
gonna
red
be
mana dorks, they're hot right now,
Mhm.
figuratively and literally. They've sort of stated, like they've put out the messaging, hey, red is going to do this. We're going to do more of it. Expect to see more of it. And because of that, I kind of want us to explore it too, so we can see what we can find before Wizards starts releasing more of those cards. But the ones that they've printed so far, a lot of them have been relevant. Like there was one from Dragonstorm that was like a monk who created mana and can also kill flying creatures. There was like a artifact from Edge of Eternity that was like a pump creature. I'm going to add mana early. I'm going to pump your creatures later. So it seems like what they want to do is price these up a little bit. They're not 1 mana, they're 2 mana, but in exchange, we're going to give you some late game push, some extra ability that you can cash your creature in for.
I think people are also both, excited and a little trepidatious around Firebending Student, just coming out
Oh,
for in the Avatar: The Last Airbender set. It's
okay.
the prowess with Firebending X, where X is this creature's power
Hmm.
sort of one,
Oh,
which
okay.
is a mana
Hmm.
dork. I mean, Firebending is a type of mana dork, but especially if you're doing
Hmm.
VV-ish things.
Firebending is I get a bunch of mana, but only during combat. Like it
Mhm.
disappears at end of combat. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess if people want to send in some firebending cards, sure, let's check those out too.
Yeah. And let's put a little twist on it. Let's see some interesting things. We
Hmm.
got some bonus points here. And I want to say that the bonus points are very much optional bonus
Yeah,
points.
yeah.
They're very fun and exciting to see, but also like submit a card that matches what you'd like to design. The first bonus point we have here is Nuv Ember Mage.
Hmm.
Make the card's mana value, power, and toughness sum together to equal 9.
Hmm. So that a lot of the existing ones wouldn't quite qualify for that because they're like 2 mana, 3 power, 1 toughness. So I'm not quite okay. So we got to
Mhm.
go a little bigger with our mana creature. I like this.
Or figure out some way to maybe this is a 1 mana 6/2, you know,
All right.
maybe. Who could say? And the other bonus point, which is no Ember Mage, give the card a leaves the battlefield or dies trigger for itself.
I love it. All right, yeah, and that'll be due November 28th, so get that in, Black Friday, right before you're shopping.
Mhm.
And that'll be it for the podcast for the week. Hop on the Discord, links in the show notes. Anything you want to tell people, Juliet?
Sure. So, the week that you are hearing this
Oh.
weekend, Saturday, November 8th, Moonshot is doing its fall charity stream.
Oh,
And in the fall, we do what we call ground control, which is like an in person stream. This year, we're doing a 24-hour charity stream, and it starts this Saturday, November 8th at twitch.tv/Moonshot Network.
or moonshot.mov.mov,
Yes,
right?
moonshot.mov.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's shorter that way. I like to say the Twitch one so that people know that
Yeah. It's
they
not
can
a
use, like,
weird.
the
Yeah.
Twitch app on their phone.
Yeah.
But I wonder, do most people have the Twitch app on their phone these days? I have no idea.
I don't really watch a lot of video on my phone, so I
Sure.
don't, maybe I have it. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like I do. Yeah.
But yeah, the charity streams are always, a good time for a good cause. The
Yeah.
spring ones are very, like, game show forward,
Oh.
and the fall ones have more hijinks and video games, if that
Oh, okay.
if
All
that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, I usually try to tune in a couple times, see what people are up to. Yeah.
And you can find us in the Discord,
Yeah.
Beacon of Creation. Thanks for listening, and always remember, every anagram deserves an X.